Thanks for staying with us. You're watching Daybreak, and this is the State of the Nation this morning. With me in studio on my immediate right is Bomet County Senator Wakili Hilary Sigei. Good morning, Wakili.
Good morning, brother.
Appreciated.
Thank you for
your presence here. He's highly valued. In his company is Eddie Okech, Senator, Migori County. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning, Ayub. Nice to see you again.
We last had lunch in
New York during UNGA.
The UN's 80th birthday.
Yes, yes.
And it's been long ever since.
Yes, yes, but nice to see you. Yes, thank you.
Senior Counsel Okongo Omogeni is the senator representing Nyamira County. Good morning, Senior Counsel.
Yes, morning.
Appreciated.
Yeah.
And we will also be joined shortly. He is in studio, the senator representing Muranga County, John Yutu, who is with us as well here on the broadcast this morning on the State of the Nation. Wakili, am I able to assume Speaker Kingi's seat for the period since the end of this show, given that this is for delegation of the senator?
The law does not allow you to do that, but you can engage the senators who've had an opportunity to have Speaker Kingi preside over the House.
All right, you also make up the Speaker's panel at the Senate.
Thank you.
Many thanks for your time. So, gentlemen, let's begin with what happened yesterday at the Senate and highlighted on page number 8 of the papers, how Governor Nyaribo survived the removal bid in the Senate yesterday and now becomes the third county boss to be saved from removal on a technicality. First, Senior Counsel and Nyamira County Senator Okongo Omogeni, beginning with you, the technicality question. Now he becomes the fourth. Twice, Kericho County Governors Eric Mutai and Isiolo County's Abdi Guyo are now Governor Nyaribo. What is the debate on the technicality, given the interpretations that have been put forth and also your input regarding the proceedings at the Senate yesterday?
Yeah, thank you, Debal. Ayub, sorry. Ayub. Yeah, thank you, Ayub. And it's nice being in this show. You know, these are my neighboring counties. Migori, Bomet. I always say I love being in this show because when you say you are speaker, I know you are very fair. You allow us to speak our mind freely. You know, in the Senate at times, if you speak something that Senator Sigei may not like, he will tell somebody to interrupt you with a point of order.
Yeah.
But this show gives us an opportunity to ventilate on issues fairly, freely, and I always say it's a big joy that we passed this 2010 Constitution that has given us a media that is vibrant, a media that is independent, and a media that is free. Now, the issue of impeachment, you know, when Kenyans passed the 2010 Constitution, I think the biggest obligation that was bestowed on the Senate is this mandate of impeaching or confirming impeachment of governors, and we have struggled. It looks like how you conduct the process depends on who occupies the chair of Speaker. When we served in the last Senate consistently, Governor Lusaka used to give the County Assembly an opportunity to be heard, present their case, then the Senate makes a decision. Because his argument used to be that if you look at our standing orders, third schedule, paragraph 2, it says that the moment as a Senate you receive an impeachment from a county assembly, you must undertake an investigation into the matter. And there is no way you can undertake an investigation into the matter unless you allow the county assembly to present their case before you, and then you sit as an impartial tribunal. Now, I find the process that we are now kind of adopting fairly disturbing, because if you look at yesterday, and especially now looking at the stakeholders we serve, like the people of Nyamira. You know, the previous day we had seen photos in social media saying that the governor has joined the broad-based side, so he was going to be saved. Now, how do we look to the people of Nyamira when you leave the job that was supposed to be done by the county assembly was now done by the majority leader? You know, the motion to stop the impeachment on a technicality was moved by the majority leader.
Who is the Kericho County?
Who is the Kericho senator. And you see, when you are sitting, you can't go to court and a judge is the one prosecuting a case, because that you're conflicted. As a judge, you have already taken a position. And remember, the way parliamentary systems work, there's this perception that if a majority leader has taken a position, then the people of that side should be aligned. So I think it will be fair, and I think it will serve the cause of justice better if we adopt a situation like what we did in Kericho 2. And I was one of the proponents who said, before we dismiss the County Assembly of Kericho, let us give them a hearing. And I think the Speaker was persuaded, and he departed from Kericho 1. The decision in Kericho 1 was to finish the impeachment on a technicality without affording the County Assembly a hearing.
As it happened yesterday.
Yeah. Now, Kericho 2, which most of us found to be a fair way of dealing with an impeachment, gave the Assembly an opportunity to, to argue their case. Then, at the end, as impartial arbiters, we cast a vote. We did not allow any senator to move a motion on behalf of the County Assembly, because that takes away the face of impartiality that we should portray as senators. So I have a problem with the process where we want to be giving the impression that we can allow technical legal roadblocks to stand on the way of MCAs, who ideally should come to us and be accorded a fair hearing. Remember that Article 50 of our Constitution emphasizes fair hearing and public hearing before you make a decision.
Wakili Sigei, of course you chair the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of the Senate. Senator John Yuto, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. A pleasure. And the technicality, before the termination, the focus on the threshold, as yesterday argued by the counsel for the governor who led his team, that the two-thirds majority required was not achieved, submitting that the County Assembly, which comprises of 35 members, meaning the requisite threshold should be 24 and not 22, who at the time of the proceedings were present in the County Assembly. And it's what the representative of the people of Nyamira at the Senate is decrying, that the substance should be looked into, and Senate therefore grant with a determination afterwards, looking at what the County Assembly has put forward.
Thank you for that question. First of all, we would like to appreciate, I would like to appreciate what an impeachment is. And I like the fact that Senator Senior Counsel Omogeni has said, impeachment is a legal process. That is a fact. And he's highlighted the provisions of Article 50 of the Constitution that emphasizes fair hearing and public hearing. And in that context alone, here we are dealing with the public, that is the people who are represented at the County Assembly by members of the County Assembly, and the same public is represented now in the Senate by senators. And therefore, the public hearing and the fair hearing is really paramount here. But again, we should be guided by the same law that requires fair hearing, such that when we say impeachment is a legal process, the outcome of it must as well follow certain legal procedures. And therefore, when you look at what Article 181 provides on the impeachment process, it gives a guide on the entitlement of each party, whether it's a governor who's been accused or the MCAs who have impeached the governor. Similarly, and in this case, more importantly, the threshold issue, which we have done thrice before. Yesterday actually was the fourth time, as you've well put. The Isiolo one, Kericho one, and now yesterday almost speak to similar circumstances because it is about numbers. It's about threshold. And I believe in the fullness of time, we should be able to explain beyond the static or the moving target number. Because when you look at Article 177, who forms the County Assembly? the membership to the county assembly is not provided to be the membership that is someone seated and present. It is provided for in law. In the county assembly of Nyamira, 35. In the county assembly of Kericho, it was 38. In Isiolo, 19. That is a static number forming the county assembly. And therefore, the precedent that was set is what guided yesterday's voting and the sitting. And therefore, this legal process must be guided by legal procedures. Because if we open up, 2-3 MCAs will wake up in the morning and say, we don't like the governor. They lock out the others, they sit down, impeach the governor, bring them to the Senate. And it's one of the things that we have said, you know, the outcome is as good as the process to the extent that the rights of the public vis-a-vis the rights of the governor must all be having a level playground. That is why the precedent that was set in the previous sittings should form the decision we are making today, because that is what the law requires of us. And therefore, the fact that a threshold which was required by law was not met, there would be no need for us to go to the full. I feel the pain that the public would go and ask, especially when we have not delved into the other accusations. But you see, it is because you have not allowed me to do it. If you had followed the process in terms of getting the numbers and the threshold, that would be the opportunity now for me to say, let us dig deeper into these accusations the governor has been accused of.
All right. Senator Eddie, in as much as the members of the county assemblies do play a critical role in holding the executive at the county level to account, what does this then present on their part in terms of looking at not only what they are presenting in impeaching, say, county governors, but also following the due process as laid down?
Thank you, Ayub. This is a fundamental conversation. And actually, I am very happy to be here as well, the same way Senator Mugeni said, because not only is that this is a very good show and a very open show for us, but also because you've got some of the best senators that are, as a younger senator in the House, I've had the privilege to serve with. These are some of the best legal minds that we have in terms of just thinking about legislation, thinking about processes, and most importantly, thinking about devolution and protecting devolution. In their own rights, I've gotten the chance to serve with all these senators, and I've really learned a lot from them, both in the informal and formal conversation. But that said, I think there are 4 things that I must critically put across. Because I feel really pained when MCAs have done all the work they can be able to do to bring an investigation in their county assemblies, you know, judge a governor in the county assembly and bring them to us, and then blunder at the issue of process or issue of threshold, because that's what the 4 impeachments have told us. Because usually we read all the documents, by the way, before we even make this decision. And there are some serious issues that we wanted to investigate. But you see, impeachment is not only a legal process, by the way, it's also a political process, in the sense that maybe at the county level it could be more political, and then when it comes to us, it can be more legal. So then we must be able to help the assembly and the governor be able to present their case in a way that we can be able to live by the tenets of Article 50. But what happened is this. When we talk about the issue of threshold, there are 2 distinctions. There is matter of law on a threshold issue, and then there is matter of fact. Matter of law is something you cannot vary. For instance, if people sat and did not meet a number that is required by the law, like you see in the Senate today, if you're going to pass any law in the Senate, the law requires that 24 senators out of the 47 must be there. There's no other interpretation. Because even now, God rest his soul, his peace, the senator of Baringo died. We could not be able to lower that threshold and say, because one of the senators is not there, let us now go ahead and use 23 members as the standard of passing things. Because there's danger in that kind of matter of law. If you pass as a Senate Because remember, the Senate sits under Article 125 for this kind of hearing. It sits like a high court. If you end up passing that judgment that you accept a threshold that is a moving target, the president can come tomorrow and say, the National Assembly, based on what the Senate did yesterday, and passed a law based on the people who are present in the House. I want the people who are present now to change the Constitution. They will do. So these are very important ones. But matter of fact is where the technicality comes to, under Article 159 actually, judicial authority, where you administer justice without considering any technicalities that could be precluding the factual issues. When it comes to matter of fact, then you have to go through full hearing. And that is why in Kericho 2, we went through full hearing because it was a matter of fact of whether electronic systems worked or not. Lastly, I must say that the decision that we made is not only guided by the Constitution, it's also guided by the County Governments Act, which says that after we have done all this investigation and come to the Senate, the MCAs can go and bring back the governor in 3 months. And I want to say, tell the MCAs of Nyamira that because they didn't get a chance because of this technical, not technical, but this matter of legal standing, I think they still have an opportunity in 3 months to bring back this to the Senate if they can be able to get to the issue of the threshold. Yes.
Senator Nyoto, your take on what happened at the Senate yesterday, and given that it has again come up following Kericho 1, Isiolo, and now Amos Nyaribo.
Thank you, Ayub, and good morning once again. You know, those past 4 impeachments that have been terminated at PO stage, of course, have been about several issues, and the most basic and common amongst them has been the threshold. For the case of Nyamira yesterday, of course, that's why you have had Senator Eddie talk of a moving target. I mean, the argument of the County Assembly was that there are some, I think, about 3 members that aren't actually in the Assembly. I don't remember whether it's by death or something. Senator, the Senator for the county is here. Maybe can
Is it because of the by-elections, Senior Counsel?
No, I mean, what happened is one MCA resigned to become Speaker. Then we lost one through death. And then one was nullified through petition
process,
in the court. That's how the 3 vacancies arose.
So then now, thank you, Senator Mogeni, for that clarity or clarification. So the argument of the County Assembly was that then the 2/3 majority should be based on the number, I think 32.
That was available.
That is available. But then Senator Eddie has put it very well. I'm not used to siding with him in arguments, but he has placed it very well. That we cannot use moving targets, especially on matters that have been determined or provided for by the Constitution. And he has rightly put it. It doesn't matter how many members of the Senate are active. I mean, a decision that affects counties will still have to marshal 24 members, whether we have 5 or whatever number of members that maybe could even be, like in the case of Nyamira, been thrown out by maybe a petition in the house, in courts or anything, or death. I mean, it has to remain being 24, and I think that is where the County Assembly of Nyamira lost it yesterday. The other issue that has been arising is voting by proxy, because I remember in Kericho, for example, there was an argument by the governor, by his team, that there were some MCAs that purportedly voted, but that were actually not within the precincts of the County Assembly of Kericho or wherever it is that the vote was taken. And this has been an issue that you cannot vote in Senate, you can vote by delegation. And there is a process, of course, where somebody can vote for you if they belong to your delegation. But there is no provision for that, I think, in the standing orders of the county assemblies. And this has been an issue, voting by proxy. And there is also something very interesting that is coming up that you get the governor having a number of MCAs, you know, swearing an affidavit that actually they did not vote, in spite of them having been reported to have voted. It's a very interesting occurrence for me that somebody is reported to have voted, but then they bring an affidavit to the Senate swearing that they did not vote. It's a very interesting thing. And when you hear Senator Omogeni say that there are issues that need to be looked into, that there are concerns, even as we dismiss these matters at the PO stage. But the Kericho one was just, we couldn't have just, you know, listened to the Kericho matter. Okay. Because for one, the county assembly had introduced an electronic voting system 2 days before the vote to impeach the governor was taken. And everybody was like, exactly why was this particular voting system, electronic voting system, introduced merely 2 days before the vote was taken? And the other concern in Kericho, I remember also, was that when the speaker called out for a vote by acclamation on which method of voting was going to be taken, and there were very many nays, you know, as per the, relating to voting by, electronically, the speaker did not pronounce the results of that vote. He decided without, you know, the speaker must say the ayes have it or the nays have it. He did not do that. He proceeded to say voting will be by, will be electronic, without determining the results of the vote. Okay. But allow me, please, I know the time has already passed, to say also that, there is something the Senator for Nyamira has raised, that there were claims that the governor of Nyamira had joined the broad-based government. And I think that's a matter, because impeachment is not purely a legal process, it's also a political process. It's a matter that needs to be investigated, if at all. Because one thing that shocked the House yesterday was that when the majority leader moved the motion, about on this technicality, on this, PO, he basically was like communicating that the Senate had made a decision to drop the matter at PO level. Okay. And it was actually even like, you know, telling the MCAs, you don't have to worry. And this is at the stage of moving the motion. And then the lobbying that was done in the Senate to have the governor saved was basically led by the majority leader. Thank you. And so these are concerns that actually need to be addressed.
I'm sure you will want to also give political responses. Yes. So can we take a break? We have an hour, then come back and... Okay. Yeah, I'll give you enough time to thank you. The hashtag on X is Citizen Daybreak, and you're watching The State of the Nation. We are back with the senators after the break here on the broadcast. Stay tuned.